Okay, good morning student. So today I will start the next part of the chapter, that is machine part 2. So let us start with your some recap. In our earlier days I had explained different terms like load, effort, input energy, output energy, etc. Okay, and also the definition. So today we will explain about the relationship between the velocity ratio, mechanical advantage and efficiency. Apart from that, I will also explain the principle of machine. So, first topic is what is the principle of machine? What is the principle of machine? So, your answer will be not to the point, but it should be elaborate answer, because principle of machine basically based on the law of conservation of energy. Principle of machine basically based on the law of conservation of energy. Suppose when energy is supplied, to a machine, when energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort, so principle of machine based on the law of conservation of energy. When energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort to overcome, why we are applying the effort? To overcome the load. Okay, effort, it overcomes the load. Load means the resistive force. Overcome the load. Okay, to overcome the load by doing some useful work. So when energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort, it overcome the load by doing some useful work. Okay, on it. Then your statement is completed. When energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort, it overcome the load by doing some useful work on it. So from this, there are two questions arises that you are applying effort. Whenever effort is applied on the machine, because when energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort, so that means whenever you are applying effort, there must be some point where you are applying the effort. Okay, so the next question is the point of application of your effort. So that is your effort point. So in this case, since you are applying the effort, so effort point, you know, the point at which energy is supplied the point at which energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort is called your effort point. So that means when energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort, this applying, when you are applying effort on the machine to overcome the load by doing some work, by doing some useful work, so that means effort must be applied at a point that is called your effort point. So the point at which energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort is called your effort point. Similarly, here the useful work done. You see, this effort is used to overcome the load by doing some useful work. So that means the work done is also takes place in a point. So that means now we can say that that will be your load point, because this to overcome the load, and that load will be overcome through a point. So now the next part, your definition should be the load point. What is your load point? This is also one of the importance, the point at which your energy, the point at which energy is obtained, the point at which energy is obtained by overcoming the point at which energy is obtained by overcoming the load, is called, then you can say, then such point from where machine does some work to overcome the load. So the point at which the energy is obtained by overcoming the load is called load point. Clear? So conclusion what you can draw, that means whenever you are doing some effort to give some energy on the machine, that machine also used to overcome the load by doing some useful work. So in case of ideal machine, your input energy, whatever energy you are providing, must be equal to the output energy. So in case of, for an ideal machine, you see, input energy, that means whatever energy you are providing on the machine by applying some effort at a convenient point, then the will be equal to the output energy. That means the energy that is we are obtaining from the machine to overcome the load, that is your output energy. These two energy must be equal in case of an ideal machine. So therefore, efficiency for that, since input energy and output energy will be remain same, so efficiency for an ideal machine is 1, or you can say 100%. Clear? So in this case efficiency, that is your eta, must be equal to your output energy, that is the energy obtained by the machine, to the input energy, the into 100%. So that means since both are same, so this will be all cancel each other, so this will be your 100%. So for an ideal machine, input energy must be equal to the output energy. So this is the case for ideal machine. But actual machine, in case of actual machine, output energy is not same as that of the input energy, because there are frictional resistive force offered by the moving part of the machine. So there is no such machine which is frictionless. So weight of the machine as well as the friction reduces a lot of energy. Suppose if the machine gives the output energy 80%, so that means here the efficiency is 80%. So if you are, as for example, suppose you are using 10,000 your joule of energy to the machine, and you are getting an output by overcoming the load, that means you are getting 80% energy, that means 8,000 energy you are obtaining with the help of that machine to do some useful work to overcome the load. So here the loss of 20% of energy takes place due to the your friction of the machines, friction in between the moving part of the machine, due to the weight of the machine also. Clear? Maybe the string is not perfectly elastic. So now for actual machine, you see your output energy is always less than input energy. For actual machine, output energy is always less than the input energy. So why it is less? There are three reasons. By which output energy is less than the input energy. First reason, you can write that the moving part of the machine, neither weightless or you can say frictionless. Number two is the string, if any in the machine, the string is not perfectly elastic. This is the second point. And third is your different part of the machine are may not be rigid. Different parts of the machine may not be rigid, because you see, rigid body can only have the equal magnitude of reaction force. Suppose you are walking on a rigid road, you will feel comfortable. But if the sandy soil, if muddy soil, you will feel difficult because there is less of rigidity. Similar to that, if the machine part of the machine are not perfectly rigid, then there will be the loss of energy, because reaction force will be not equal in magnitude. So in this case, different parts are not perfectly rigid. Okay. Third point is your different parts of the machine. Here it is less space. So I am writing here the different part of the machine may not be perfectly rigid. So this is the main reason of getting less output energy than your as comparison with your input energy. So rigidity is not sufficient enough to overcome the applied whatever the efforts you are doing on the machine to supply the energy, you are not able to get back the same one. Okay, now you see this loss of energy is overcoming the force of friction between the, so energy, whatever energy is lost may be converted in the form of your heat energy. Maybe the moving part of the machine gradually warm up. So that loss of energy may be dissipated into the surrounding in terms of heat, sound, whatever it may be. Okay, now you have to see the relationship between the mechanical advantage and velocity ratio. Suppose relationship between your mechanical advantage, velocity ratio and efficiency eta. So let us consider an effort of E. Let us consider an effort of E is applied on a machine to overcome a load L. So your effort, let us consider an effort E is applied on a machine to overcome a load L, and thereby the displacement of load, the displacement of effort is dE, the displacement and thereby displacement of effort is dE, where load displaces by dL. Then mechanical advantage, as we know, is the load, as we know that mechanical advantage is the ratio of load and effort. Say this is your 1, and velocity ratio is the distance moved by effort to the distance moved by load. This is your equation 2. Clear? Now efficiency. Now work input. You have to find out work input. Work input in this case, because you are applying an effort on the machine to supply the energy, and the displacement of effort takes place is your dE. Then work input must be equal to effort into displacement of effort, that is your E into dE. This is your work input. Say this is your equation 3. Now after work input you must find out the work output. For work output, that is means work done by the machine on the load. That is your output energy also. That is your load into distance moved by load, load into displacement of load. That is your L into dl. So this is your equation 4. So efficiency of the machine, efficiency can be expressed as eta, which is your work output by work input, which is your work output by work input. So that means you work input and work output is your L into dl, and work input is your E into dE. So this is your eta, that is efficiency. So if you will think that L, you can take E upward, you can rewrite this, and dE is in the denominator, you take dl in the denominator. So finally you see L by E is your mechanical advantage, and L by E is your mechanical advantage, and VR is your d by dl. So you just put here. Then efficiency eta will be expressed as your L by E is your mechanical advantage, and d by dl is your velocity ratio. This is the relation between your efficiency and mechanical advantage and velocity ratio. So if you want to find out the mechanical advantage, and if you know the relation of this relation, you can find out mechanical advantage can also be written as velocity ratio into efficiency, or you can also find out velocity ratio as your mechanical advantage by your efficiency. So this relation can be used to find out either efficiency, either mechanical advantage or velocity ratio, because there are 3 data, out of which 2 data must be given, then you will be able to get the third one. Okay, clear? So from this you see, for ideal machine, mechanical advantage, you see, for ideal machine, your for ideal machine, mechanical advantage, since efficiency is your work output and work input are same, so that means for ideal machine efficiency is your 1, or you can say 100%, because your output energy must be equal to input energy. So in that case, if you will, your N, that is eta is your 1, so mechanical advantage by velocity ratio equal 1. So in that case, mechanical advantage must be equal to velocity ratio. In that case, mechanical advantage must be equal to velocity ratio for an ideal machine. Clear? Now, for an actual machine, since our work output is not same as that of the work input, so mechanical advantage is less than the velocity ratio. Since for your actual machine, you see here work output is your less, work output is less than work input, or you can say output energy, output energy is less than input energy. So that means here efficiency efficiency, then efficiency is less than 1. Efficiency is less than 1 because output energy is less than the input energy. So that means in that case, in that sense, this one efficiency is your less than 1. So mechanical advantage in that case will be less than your velocity ratio. Mechanical advantage will be equal to the velocity ratio. Then only efficiency will be your less than 1, because output energy is less than that of the input energy, and this loss of energy takes place due to the frictional regions of the moving part of the machine. Clear? Okay. So this much is sufficient for today. For next day I will come up with lever and their principle. Okay, bye.